Billy, that was an interesting 4 hours. Okay, I guess you've got a tale or two to tell. You want to pick it up from where you started?
Brian, all I can say, I'm thankful for what I am and how I am. One look at life around you, and only I think when it affects you personally, that you really have I would say then reality struck and reality sets in. One thing was on Wednesday, it was like I was just there on Wednesday. When I arrived at my car, I realized, but I'll never be able to get in. If I would have been disabled, I would not have been able to get into my car. You know what I would have done? I would have had to wait for the guy that parked next to me until he arrived in order for me to get into my car and get to my destination. That struck me. The importance of a disabled parking. Because when I do go to a disabled parking, I realize that it's extra, which I never saw. I just saw disabled parking, but now I saw that it's actually an extra size for movability and accessibility. So yeah, that's all I can say. That was a bit of an eye-opener for me.
And then obviously you set about all the challenges, and you've gone through a lot of the challenges, and you had the interesting one at the coffee shop. Well, we're back at the coffee shop now, but it was a different story earlier on, eh?
Well, now we're giving them business too, and I hope they're going to look at this. But yeah, you want to get into the store. You get out of the car, you get to the front of the gate or the door, and there's no ramp. This is a very popular restaurant, and they have quite a few other restaurants. It's a franchise, I think.
Yes.
And they're not accessible. So that says something.
I noticed when you came off the pavement, the cutaway in the pavement, your perception before you got to that cutaway was that, did you see that as a very steep thing before you? Because jy lyk asof jy so 'n bietjie gesukkel het, joh.
No, I did better. Because you don't see any problems, because you're putting on a different hat that you've never wore before. So in normal life, there's no real challenges when you walk, because you can step up, you can step down, you can jump, you can do anything. But you are based you are immovable. You can't move anywhere. You are seated. So now, in your mind, you can do it, but in practicality, you can't.
So you got to that cutaway, and that was the challenge.
I realized that I can't. I needed help to get up there.
Oh, thank goodness I was there.
Thank goodness.
Now you could have been on your own, hey? And you could have been a frail auntie wanting to get up there. And then we got into the coffee shop. We circled in. Then we moved around. From there we went to Discam, into the car park, eh?
That's when I realized the difference between the parking bays. It was a great parking bay. It was big enough. I could get out. Even the ramp looked very easy. And you told me, I didn't know. As I was sitting in the wheelchair, I was not trying to get up to the ramp. The ramp was nice, but I couldn't. I almost fell backwards. That's when you came to help me. Now I'm asking, how would a normal person in a wheelchair do that? Because it looks easy that you could go up there, but I couldn't. And I'm strong enough. And you said there's a certain way that you have to move and to sit back or to go up, but I couldn't. You had to help me.
The point being that when you tomorrow, for whatever reason, land up in a wheelchair from a so-called able-bodied environment or mobility, or become mobility impaired, you land in on that wheelchair overnight. You don't get an apprenticeship. So,
wow.
you know, my point I'm trying to make is, what you experienced getting to Discam could have been you tomorrow if your leg's broken. You know, so you would have got there. So it can't be a case of, I first have to get used to it. That ramp is in front of you. And you had to tackle that today, and you circled up there, which looked to you very easy, didn't it?
And there's no learner, there's no learner license here. It's the real thing. Now I'm not shopping. I broke my legs or whatever I've done. I now need to go and shop at Discam or wherever we've been. I go in, and what I really wanted was not on the shelf, on the eye level shelf. It was on the top shelf. So there was no way I would get onto the top shelf unless I had someone to help me first and ask for help, or I could be very practical and get a pair of tongues and get it off the shelf,
So, interesting, because what would your proposal be, having just had this experience, what would you tell Mr. Retailer? What should he be doing?
You know, we had an interesting discussion in the car, and while we were saying that, there's not a lot of disabled people that would shop at your concern during one day, one or two, if that. The least any shop owner or business person could do is to have a signed person. We discussed that. So when this disabled person enter the shop, is to go and say, look, I'll be at your service. You need anything you need, just call me. That was the one suggestion. The other suggestion is to have a buzzer at each shelf.
Yeah, spaced along.
Spaced and in each aisle, the beginning of the aisle. So if what I need is in the top shelf in that aisle, I can just go down, press the buzzer, it will show up on which aisle, like in the airplane, or in the airplane, even in the airplane, in a hospital, yes. And then that would be a it's a simple idea, but very effective.
Yes.
One could do. So yeah, I think that could be looked at.
Very interesting. Yeah, and then you came back down that ramp, and you also found out even coming down, it was like a bit of downhill racing, was it?
It looked easy, because now going up was difficult. Coming down would not be. And for you, it looked normal. When I came, I was battling, because that thing almost ran amok with me. But I controlled it. I controlled it, and I was actually going fast.
It's interesting, because the perception from me standing watching you said, I came down so fast, and I said, guess what? You looked as if you were coming normally.
Normal.
So it was your new experience in that wheelchair, eh?
Yes. And okay, then I must say, with tongue in the cheek, I'm a fast learner, because you're expecting me to fall at some place.
Well, I was asking the camera to stay and pick up the moment. We haven't got that yet. And then off to the police station.
This is interesting. Now, obviously, when you think police station, you would think the police station of all places would be the most accessible, because their doors are open for everyone, right?
Absolutely.
That's what the police says. I mean, and the police and the
it's
the
a
prison
public place.
The prison services also said our doors are open for everyone.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay, but I just found that although the doors are open for everyone, it's not accessible. So as I got out of my car, I realized that there's no ramp immediately to go up. So I had to go into the road, and then the car came.
Oh, yeah.
Then the car comes. So that means if I'm busy concentrating on getting, I can't really hear what's happening here. And if that guy is insensitive, I could end it up very bad. It could have ended up badly.
Well, I suppose the argument also is there was a walkway there. In other words, the so-called able-bodied guy just hops on the walkway and he's safe. You're in a wheelchair, and now you've got to use the road and be unsafe.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm exposed to danger more than anybody else. And fortunately, which I didn't expect, I must be honest, the ramp up to the front entrance was not that steep. It was really well planned, because it went up in a certain
two-tier.
Yes. And that is the one thing. The door itself, I thought I would battle to get into the door. They could change. There, I also think that in the future they could look at a type of handle for the doors, if they can't have a sliding door. That would be, you don't expect, but if they can't have a sliding, which is an easy way. If they can't, is to really look at how, from your wheelchair, because I'm already stretched when I open the door. So how can I? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
If I go sideways, then I have to.
And you only just got in with your chair?
Yeah, I just got in. So that was. But again, that was now after practicing on the other sides. But the one thing I must give the credit is the charge office itself. I don't know if you've done it recently, but the counter was really low. It wasn't a high counter, like at other places that I've seen, at other police stations that I've seen. So this particular one, the counter was low enough. Then obviously we went to the hospital after.
Yes, the local provincial hospital.
which one would think would be the same, in terms of public places. I couldn't find a disabled parking. This is not a private hospital. This is a public state hospital. Now I'm asking myself, is there more disabled people visit hospital, I would think, than any other place?
I figure, yeah.
Where do you go? And those parking bays are normal parking bays. It's not big parking bays. So in a nutshell, the experience for me is one I will, as a person, as an individual, for your whole life being in a wheelchair and being, as we call, disabled in a sense, but being dependent on others to take you from A to B, and that other people also have their private lives, also have their things that they have to do, and that you have to be almost in the way. And I was just thinking of all that today, and I'm just thinking how fortunate I am that I can just do what I do.
And we're hoping through Wheelchair Wednesday that those persons are granted more independence by the structural environment being improved, because if the structural environment improves, you're not going to need me behind you.
That's actually what Wheelchair Wednesday is about. I think you are pressing buttons here, Brian, with APD that has never been done before. You are pioneering something not only for Port Elizabeth and this country, but I think all around the world. What you've done, what we're doing here, is a practical example of the struggle of the world. It's like anything else that people fight for. There's a cause that people fight for. Whether it's child abuse, whether it's the rights of children, the rights of women, the rights of that. But this is a cause that you're saying, that this is an awareness that you're creating for business, for governments to see that we can make our buildings accessible. That doesn't cost more. It wouldn't cost more to make it accessible. In terms of, yes, revamping a building, I would say, because then your cost obviously. Yes. But building new buildings, I would think all new buildings, it's like when they're producing new cars. We're trying with the new technology that we have, building cars that will suit the environment. Just adapt. I think that is basically Wonderful. What we're saying here.
Billy, thank you. As a board member of APD, you spent your 4 hours in the chair today. As a prominent Port Elizabeth citizen, you spent your time, and thank you. And I hope the message goes out that we can go and improve the environment.
Thank you. And I'd like to say to Mr. Businessman, support APD because they are doing real great work. Thank you. God bless.